What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode here on the channel, man. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming in and checking us out. And man, here we got the Hall of Game podcast, man. I'm here with the one-on-one, our brothers. I'm gonna let him tell you who he is, and then we'll go from there.
Hello, everybody. If you don't know me or this is your first time watching the channel, this is Dr. Patrick Dix from the Hall of Game. I've been on the Hall of Game cast for about a year now, and I got in contact with O'Shea to bring up this wonderful topic, and I want to help brothers make the best decisions in life and also continue to motivate them to continue to move further. If you have any kind of problems, also to just keep trying and everything will work out.
Tell them a little bit about yourself, Doc, and I do thank you for contributing to the Hall. A lot of guys do know about you here. Tell them, man, how you grew up, just so, because they see the doctor on there, right? So guys like, oh, man, I might not be able to relate, but let everybody know, man, how you grew up, how you came up, so, how the guys can, understand, your point of view.
I am from South Carolina. I grew up in South Carolina. I grew up in the Deep South. So all the problems that are associated with it, I have firsthand experience. Throughout high school, I wasn't the best student. I'm going to be honest. I graduated with like a 2.003333. I graduated at the bottom of my class out of high school. And throughout high school, I went to throughout high school, I was trying to find myself, the peer pressure that you face and everything, but I didn't do anything crazy. After graduation in 2002, went to 2 technical schools. Did not know what I still was doing with my life. My dad passed in between that in June 2003. So I, was going through a pivotal time in my life. During that time, I had met this young lady in 2003. She broke my heart. That was the first time I ever got my heart broken, and my emotions were already going crazy from my dad dying in 2003, and the young lady broke my heart. So leading up to 2006, I decided to go to South Carolina State. I took my transfer credits from the 2 schools, got my computer science degree. After that, got a job as O'Shea and that's how I first saw O'Shea's videos a couple of years ago. I got fired from my first job out of college. No, actually, I got fired from 2 jobs. I got fired for 2 jobs. And okay. I got fired from 2 jobs. I still see some of the people. My life would not be where it's at today if I wouldn't have got fired, because once I got fired from my little internship / job, I decided to enroll in graduate school at Webster University in Columbia, South Carolina, started driving back and forth up to there. Then the job I got fired from, I was going to class one night a week, and I remember they fired me in August 2011. I only worked there for like 9 or 10 months. I was a computer programmer. And after graduate school, I got fired. Then I found a government contracting job, which has affected a decision 9 years ago has affected my life now, because I have the security clearance that I got with the Department of Defense was able to transfer to the Department of Energy. And I now work for the government again. So now I enrolled into a doctoral program in August 2017, Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was supposed to be 25 flights, but I flew up to Pittsburgh 23 times from South Carolina to Pittsburgh to attend class monthly, 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, wrote my dissertation, graduated. And during all of that time, I was teaching school. I've been a part-time professor for 7 years.
Okay.
I've taught about 13,000 to 14,000 students. And okay. Now I'm here.
Okay, so basically, we want everybody to know you're a regular nigga just like everybody else.
Yeah, I have my failures.
Right. Yep. Regular nigga. Okay, so because sometimes, when you get into the educational thing, hold on, let me take music. Yeah, man, that nigga can't relate to me, man. He a doctor and shit. So basically, how we do, man. So I'm glad you can align, because you've been there just like me. Mm-hmm. We from different parts of the country, but same shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today's topic, man. You got me a good one today, man. What are we talking about today, Doc?
Black men and their decision making and choosing women.
Okay, why are we talking about that?
A lot of brothers make good decisions on a lot of things in life. The right career, we have the blue collar guys, you have your white collar guys, you have your military guys. But when it comes down to choosing women, it appears that some of us, I've done it myself, have chosen the wrong women, And if you don't get out of the situation, it will derail your life, because the old saying is the type of woman you select will determine if you're successful or you failed. I got that quote from Minister Jap, some years ago watching this channel.
Now, when you say, because we're going to talk about a whole plethora of things, but, one of the things and talk about, since I've been over in the manosphere, I noticed when you ask like black women what they're looking for, and we all watch Kevin Samuels, but we kind of knew this before. That when black women want something, they have a lot of standards, right? Like, hold on a second, take music, 6'5", Z, Columbia, Harvard, Yale, $5 million. They have like a lot of standards and stuff, right? Black men don't have like any standards, right? So why do you think that black men have like no standards in chasing women or getting women? And then what are black men, if they have like less standards, what are they looking for in their decision-making process, especially the younger guys, right? Because we're a little bit older now. But what are the younger black men or black men in general, you think, looking towards when they're trying to, make a decision to get in a woman?
Well, one of the first things they notice with scientifically is the posterior. Black men look to see if she got a big ass. Man, she got a big old ass, cuz it don't matter if her face look like a gremlin, but if her ass look like a black man goes, yeah, cuz that's wifey right there. And I say to myself, because she got a fat ass, she could be retarded. She could be a felon. But they'll say, man, she got some cakes back there. And young men, now with how life is, they don't gauge women, they don't talk to them. So they're mesmerized by a short skirt and some booty. And you ask a young man, hold up. So the problems you're dealing with in the 9th month of knowing this young lady, you didn't ask if she had kids. Did she have an education? Is she in school? Is she a convicted felon? Is she a criminal? Is she running for the law? You didn't ask any of that up front. So black men make a lot of their decisions based off of a booty and sometimes a nice set of titties. And black men have to realize there's more to a woman than a body. We don't question ourselves, and we don't even feel worthy enough. Should I have a woman that caters to me? Should I have a woman that cooks for me? Should I have a woman that is feminine? The things Kevin Samuels talks about. So black men don't think they're worthy of any of that when they are. When you're a hardworking black man, you need to make sure your woman is clean. She can cook. She could do all of those above, besides having a nice body, because I'll tell you, I'm 36 years old. The older I get, I watched a lot of O'Shea's videos. The older you get, black men, you want peace in your life. When you're 22, you don't care about that. But the older you get, you want peace. And you want a woman you can get along with. All of that other stuff will come, but you want a woman you can really get along with and you have fun with, and neither one of you don't try to kill each other.
Right.
Getting each other's nerves.
Right, because it's slowed down, man, when I'm close to 40 in a few days. So life is really slowed down for me. And I'm not so jittery and stuff. I remember days, man, when I first got my first car, man, I was driving here, there, every day, where, here, I got to be there. Now I'm like, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really need that. I'm not really tripping off it. But let me ask you this, though. You made a really interesting point. You said a lot of black men, when they're talking to women, man, they don't really talk to them. What do you mean by when you say they don't really talk to them? Can you give me what do you mean when you say that?
They don't ask the right questions. Somebody told me you're interrogating her. The first thing, if I see a woman walking in a store, because a woman could come into a store and her husband or boyfriend could go around somewhere else to pick something up. First question I ask a woman, hey, are you, hey, how are you doing? No, I take it back. I look at their fingers. If I don't see a ring finger, I approach them. If I see a ring on their finger, I walk the other way. But to some brothers, they're like, I'm still going to approach her because she got a ring on her finger. I'm like, nah, I ain't down with all that. Once I know she doesn't have a ring on her finger, I'll approach her and I'll say, hey, how you doing? I noticed you, blah, blah, blah. You're here by yourself, because you could be approaching her and 6'5", 300-pound Julius Peppers looking dude come around the corner, saying, man, what you doing talking to my girl? And you think to yourself, these are questions you should ask. One of those, that should be a question. 2, do you have any kids? Well, I asked that up front. I ask, are you going through a divorce? Do you have somebody chasing you? Is there somebody trying to kill you? Because you could be in here. You could be you could be part of some kind of crime ring or something. These are essential questions that you ask somebody, because those questions lead up to follow-up questions. It's like an interrogation / interview, if you want to call it that. But those are key questions to ask. If you don't ask those questions, when I was younger, I used to see a woman pull up to a gas station. If the car has dark windows with the tint, there could be a dude laying in the back or laying to the side. You pull up to the car, he get out and try to shoot you. That's never happened to me, but men have to gauge the situations. And also, you can get a presence when you walk up to introduce yourself to a woman. Because how she's dressed, is she receptive? Is she making eye contact?
Right.
And a lot of black men don't realize the woman will if you're able to see her and get a good visual, these things will lead to, should I go approach this woman or not? But once they see a big booty and some nice perky titties, they make a beeline, not knowing, okay, well, her boyfriend or husband could be pulling up on the other side of the store. They never ask these essential questions. You need to ask important questions like that to see what's going on.
I'm glad you said that, brother. Because a lot of guys, you're right. A lot of brothers don't know. They're just looking at her like she's thick. And then another thing that a lot of black men do is they believe what she's saying. Like,
exactly.
Date music. Sorry, bro. I do this, but yeah, you know, this nigga left me. He was doing this to me. He was doing that to me. I was so perfect. He just cheated on me. Like a lot of niggas, if they're not asking the right questions, they listen to the lies. You know what I mean? So you listen to everything you saying. You sitting there mad at the ex-boyfriend that you know what I mean. She telling you a whole lie, and then you about to find out really when you dealing with her what's going on. And then when she break up with you, she gonna go lie about you. And you're right. A lot of black men don't ask the right questions. Which, if you don't ask the right questions, then it makes the decision a bad decision because you didn't inform yourself. And I've done that myself, man. But let me talk about this because, you know, you see a lot of black men making the decision to look for a woman because she's a certain complexion or she has a nice butt. Why? I mean, tell me since you have developed and grew, what are the qualities that you look for now that you didn't look for like 10 years ago?
How she walks. Okay. I look at her nails. I look at her feet to see if she keeps herself up. I don't like the Venus flytrap, Venus flytrap eyelashes. I like real hair. No girl I've ever dated has ever worn weave unless it was for braids. I look at her overall body appearance. I look at her demeanor, how she's talking to me. Does she make eye contact? And I also, to be honest, see, with my schedule, I'm off on the weekends, 3 days a week. So if I see you on a Friday and it's midday, first thing I'm thinking, hold up, you're either a doctor, nurse, or some professional, or you work a different schedule. Because if I'm 36 and you 36 or in your 20s and don't have a job, that's a bad problem already. See, I never used to look at that when I was younger. Because if I'm in a grocery store at 1 on a Friday, I'm wondering, why are you in a grocery store at 1 on a Friday? But, people work various shifts. I look at what she is wearing. Is she wearing all this designer stuff? Because I don't care about any of that stuff. I look at, basically, another thing I look at, too. I look at, it was just on the tip of my tongue. I look at her skin, because everybody has skin problems. I was younger, had acne. How her outer appearance is lets me know if she takes care of herself.
Right.
A woman's posture and the energy she gives off to you, I didn't notice that when I was younger, will let you know, is this a good woman to be talking to? Are they bubbly? Personality? Are they laughing at your jokes? Because you can tell if a woman is not interested from the get-go. She'll be like, yeah. And the worst thing I used to hate, hey, what's your name? Nunya? Okay.
Oh, right. I ain't got a name. You know what I mean?
I ain't got a name. So, and then if a woman gives you her name and they're very friendly, they're cordial, you can tell if you're dealing with a nice, presentable woman by the way when you're having that little 5-minute conversation, if it's that long, to find out about herself.
Let me talk about this. We're gonna transition, right? We'll come back to this. But one of the things we talk about outside of the call game, our best shows come behind dating or relationships. So that's also true. But then in this new economy, and you specialize in what is the thing that you specialize in?
I'm a professional.
Automation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Automation. Right.
Yeah.
So automation, that's your field of study with your PhD, with the doctorate that you have. And then now Black men are looking at a new economy. That now there's a digital economy now, and so now Black men are looking at, while trying to get the right dating decision, the best decision for the market and their skill set and their potentials and stuff, right? And me and Brother Gabe had a show about the white collar blue versus blue collar career, stuff like that. So let's talk about professionally from what because you deal with that. You're also a lecturer. What are we looking for as Black men making the best decision for the work future?
One of the biggest things you have to do, you have to realize everything is not going to last. You have to see what's popular right now, and you got to think 10 to 15 years down the line. I remember when I did my computer science degree back in 2006 to 2010, in the early 90s, Java programming was big, but it got overpopulated. There are going to be fields that become overpopulated. You have to think as a Black man, what is going to be the next big thing? Perfect example, I use this with everybody. A company that failed with no innovation and not thinking ahead was Blockbuster. Yes. If you watch the documentary, I think it's on Netflix. Netflix went to Blockbuster to try to buy them. Blockbuster said, "Nah, we don't want to do that. We're gonna stay doing what we're doing." So the 50-cent return fee and people standing in line and all this other stuff eventually is what was the main downfall of them. Failure to innovate and to have a vision to see ahead is what really can set Black men apart. And when you pick a profession, construction. There are so many construction projects for the blue collar dudes that do HVAC, electricity, because they now have I saw a drywall machine that actually helps people do construction work in a house. So you have to think of professions that can't be easily automated, and you also have to think of something to where could they outsource it and even take me outside of the realm. There are a lot of white collar jobs that are going to be automated. When I say this, people don't want to hear it, but I say you can go online and Google white collar jobs that are going to be automated. The MLB signed a contract to have a automated umpire or something. I was reading up a year or so ago to help judge the strike zones better. We have artificial intelligence and machine learning in everything. There are professions, and with the COVID pandemic, there are jobs that are never coming back. I was looking earlier today. I can't remember the company. They're trying to use an automated waiter or somebody to bring food or something. I would have to look back at it, but I look at this stuff to make sure I'm not going to be out of a job. I tell family members, close family members that have STEM backgrounds, I say, hey, make sure your job cannot be automated, because if they can find out to write a couple of algorithms to come in and do what you're doing, they would invest $100 million to make $5 billion. I said, this just is the name of the game. Business is to make the most with the least amount of people and the less amount of work. And Black men have to remember, you have to be in professions. Right now, what was good? I'll give you an example. In 2010, we didn't know that much about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity now, I can't say no much, but cybersecurity is booming in 2021. In 2031, you got to think, well, what else is going to be booming? Digital currency and everything and all this other stuff. Black men have to be visionaries. I've watched The Men Who Built America. I've even referenced this in the Hall of Game a lot. You have to think ahead and have vision. Kevin Samuels, years ago, I remember him talking about the Coca-Cola logo, about how logos have evolved. You have to evolve as a Black man to make sure that you can stay competitive. You have to get certificates. You have to stay with training. You have to get degrees. So Black men, you have to make a decision in a field and something you know that is going to be around, and that is going to be profitable, because at the end of the day, it's about making money and taking care of yourself.
Let me ask you, as far as having foresight, because the 2020 was a year where I think almost everybody on the Hall of the Game was all right. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't hear nobody's like, me, I was stop the show, nigga. I was clocking dollars, I was in Africa. Let me hold on, put the screen on me. Y'all, so y'all can be mad at me. Y'all see what I was doing out there in Uganda, boy. So I was getting mines in. And so a lot of us had already we didn't know that this was happening, but obviously we kind of was getting ourselves ready for the next trend, right? And having foresight. And so for some black men out there who are looking at a career to go into, or looking for something to do, or looking at something that could put them in the right direction, what would you suggest based off of what you saw last year and automation coming? 'Cause that's a big thing that you deal with. Talk about what you see, that things that, some black men should be looking towards, in the next 5 years.
Find a job that can be done from anywhere in the world, because I can work for a company in California making $200,000 a year, okay, and live in South Carolina. Cost of living in South Carolina is relatively low. The main things you have to worry about is the network infrastructure. Long as you have a 100 megabyte network, a fiber network, you can work from anywhere. And see, black men need to find professions that can be done remotely. For the blue collar guys, I think they're journeymen, all kinds of other certifications to where they can work anywhere in the world too, because just because California has a project that doesn't work, you could go to Florida, you can go overseas. Black men have to find professions that really, really, they can perfect the talent and the skill set. They need to look for things in that magnitude. I'm not going to say every black man is making the bad decisions, but we need to make better decisions in the professions we choose. One of the things you can do is, if you want to say Gabe is in cybersecurity, black men, I see y'all do this all the time. You talk to a subject matter expert in the field to say, hey, what did you do? You don't
wait. Say that again so they can hear it. Because, these niggas be, so go ahead and say it again. Say it again.
Say, for instance, you wanted to go into cybersecurity. You go talk to Gabe A. Gabe A is a subject matter expert. Me. You don't go talk to your cousin Pookie and Ray Ray that say, man, cuz that's too hard. I don't know nothing about that. You go find the people. If I wanted to be a medical doctor, I would go talk to O'Shea. If I wanted to do if I wanted to learn how notary works, I would contact RJ Hatchett. If I wanted to do with Antoine Wade with Black Heights, if I wanted to know about management information systems, that's who I would contact. You have subject matter experts, and I'm like myself. You want to know about automation and being a professor or writing a dissertation, contact me. We have subject matter experts. A lot of y'all get in the wrong situations because you don't seek out the knowledge from the people. First thing you'll say, man, I ain't talking to that nigga, man. He ain't gonna try to tell me the truth. I would tell you the truth on anything. Any guy on the Hall of Game will tell you it is tough, it is hard. You could reach out even to Coach Ali. Ask these men that we collaborate with how hard it is to do something successful. Black men, a lot of y'all work very hard and you don't give yourself enough credit. Myself, I've been guilty of it. I will be 37 years old next month. I think about all the obstacles I've overcame to get to where I need to get. But I would not have been able to overcome a lot of those obstacles if I had not sought out the right knowledge. When I wanted to go do my doctorate of science degree, I reached out to a guy that had got the same degree from the school that taught me. You find the people in the fields and you talk to them. You don't go read a book on everything. Talk to somebody that has actually done it. Talk to somebody that has failed at it and say, hey, this is what I did to overcome it. Even if you're in the trials and the tribulations of it, you reach out to people. Don't go out here on the wing saying, well, you know what? I think I can wing it. Some of this stuff you can't wing it. If you mess up severely enough, your life can be over. I'm just being totally honest with you.
Yeah, no, and that is absolutely true, man. I'm glad that you talked about, seeking, help. And even, for us, like as black men, men in general, I do see the white guys doing it more or less now. I used to have somewhat of my issue was not thinking I was better, but my issue was always like feeling a little timid, man, is he gonna talk to me? And you do be surprised, the people that will help you. Why do you think it keeps black men? What keeps them from wanting to go to the experts and what they want to do? Because for us as black men, it's important to see that people like us are doing those things. It's important. Why do you think we don't reach for help like we should?
They're afraid of what they're going to say, or they're afraid to ask for help, or they have not been taught to ask for help.
Hello.
a lot of people have not been taught when they get into a difficult situation, because we see asking for help a sign of weakness. When I say you ask for help, it shows for a sign of strength. If you go on a job interview, do you know most of the time you can lose a great job interviewing for it if they realize if you get into a deep situation, you won't ask for help. There's this thing called delegating. I've read books. Leaders delegate responsibilities. They ask for help. I don't know how to get to Japan. So if I don't know how to get there, I mean, I know, but if I didn't know, I would find a subject matter expert and say, hey, how did you do it? How do you do it? Hey, I'm stuck here. How do I get here? How do I get here? Because I'll reach out to people. If it's a very difficult thing, I'll ask them, hey, do you know such and such? For instance, there is a job or something I had wanted to get a while back. What do you think I did? I went on LinkedIn and tried to find the people in the field to say, hey, how can I get this job? What skill set do I need? What do I need to do? So Black men, a lot of us have been taught to hold on to our feelings and say, you don't need no help. No, you need help in life. I've been going to a counselor since June of last year, and I meet with my counselor twice a month. There are a lot of things, that the counselor, talking to him, has helped me overcome. There's nothing wrong with, I think D. Durrell talks about mental health. That's another thing, Black men. Make a decision to take care of your mental health. It's very important. You're going to deal with a lot of things in life. Nobody can ever shame me for going to a counselor. I'm going to continue to go till I feel that I don't need a counselor anymore. And I strongly advise, it has made me feel better. I've been dealing with things, and it has showed me that there's nothing wrong with asking for help for a counselor, because I don't know very few Black men or even Black women that go to counselors, because in our community, we will say, you don't need to go to a counselor. They're going to tell you what you need to know. No, you need to go to a trained professional that can help you, because they will actually sit down with you, because I do mine virtually, and say, hey, why do you feel the way you're feeling? Why do you have the anger problems? And it's been very helpful. So Black men, learn to ask for help when you get into difficult situations.
Right. And I definitely agree with all of that, because, even me, a lot of my success on anything that I'm doing right now, man, it comes from word with the C, ends and N, collaboration and getting help, getting advice. Sometimes, I try to tell brothers, hey, you need to pay for it. A lot of guys don't believe in that, but hey, that's what you need to believe in, brothers. Make sure, that you brothers as Black men, the game that you get from people, the networks that you get from people is worth money. I'm telling you guys, as a guy that's on YouTube, a lot of the money is made behind the scenes, not just on the video. It's made behind the scenes. A lot of guys don't understand that, man. A lot of guys don't understand that. So, the more help you get, because a lot of brothers don't have no network, man. Let's even talk about that. But a lot of Black men don't have a network. And obviously, since you just been on social media, when you got a chance to know me, how has having an online network, man, outside of what you do on your regular business, how has the online network been able to help you since you have been able to reach out to people?
It has opened me up to a bigger audience, and it's gotten me more comfortable talking on camera. I know I've been watching O'Shea since 15, and I reached out to him. I had thought about reaching out to O'Shea in 2019, but I said, no, I'm not going to reach out to O'Shea until I know I'm almost finished with my dissertation. So I reached out to O'Shea, and he welcomed me with open arms, and we talked. We did that first video. I was able to meet Gabe A. I didn't even know Antoine Wade is from he's from South Carolina. Antoine Wade actually is from a town about 50 minutes away from where I'm from now. So I didn't know that. I've been able to meet people. I didn't know notary service was that big until Andre Hatchett got on there. Do you know, I never reached out to a mobile notary person till I saw Andre Hatchett talk about it, and I Googled it, and I got somebody to notarize stuff for me. I said, I didn't know, and the people said, we are swamped right now trying to get stuff notarized. Coach Ali, I didn't know Coach Ali played football. I think it was with, what's the guy from the Steelers, from Central Michigan?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. I've gotten to meet a lot of people. And Gabe A. I didn't know Gabe A. was from Detroit. Gabe A. was telling us one time, he said, man, y'all need to look at buying a property up here in Detroit. And I looked at the prices. He said, man, it's cheap. And that network has opened me up to so many things. I met people. I have people write me on LinkedIn saying, hey, thanks for what you're doing. I need some advice. What should my brother do? What should I do? So the network of people, and I'm continually trying to grow my network. And one thing about a network, I don't make mine restrictive to color or race. Anybody that can help me, I like to network with them, no matter their economic status, because I will write a CEO and ask him the same question, because somebody will say, you're going to write the CEO? How do you know the CEO is just not looking for somebody to write them an email and say, you got balls, you took the opportunity to write me, I'm going to talk to you. So he puts his pants on the same way I do. If it's a woman, right, the same thing too. So I reach out to anybody. I don't care what race they are. I don't care what gender they are. I don't care what they do. I ask them for help. If I need help or I need you to show me how to do something, I'm asking you. And I don't mind asking for help. It took me a long time to get comfortable to ask for help because you're nervous on what they will say. But I like it now because Kevin Samuels even I've watched this video. He said, a man's network. He said, you're going to get used by the network. So I get used by the network. I don't mind people calling and saying or asking me, hey, can you do this? Do you know how this works? Hey, I need your advice. He said, a man with a good network gets used. So kudos to Kevin Samuels for mentioning that.
Yeah, I'm constantly getting used by you. But anyways, but no, that's great, man. And just because you reached out to me, even with Erica, Erica, you've linked up with her. You linked up with Antoine Wade. Shout out to AM1. I talked to Erica, and they're out in Miami. He was on this channel, and he met her. That's how you get into the loop of things, guys.
Oh, I forgot about the Erica Williams. I had been saw Erica Williams out there, but this is one thing as black men. You don't reach out to people unless you have your shit together. I wasn't gonna reach out to O'Shea and say, yeah, cause I'm thinking about going to get my doctorate degree. No, if you want people to respect what you're doing, you need to have the credentials. I reached out to Erica Williams. I think it took me 2 or 3 times, and I commented on her video. We emailed each other. I sent her a description, and what I always tell people, if you need to see like the transcript of my degrees or my resume, I will share it with you. I have nothing to hold back. So reaching out to Erica, I'm able to get on her channel, talk to her, because Erica talks about an abundance of things too, because I think Erica is from North Carolina. So I'm from South Carolina. He's from North Carolina. So we have similar ideologies on things. So it has opened me up. Oh, I forgot about LAR, Man of Tomorrow, all of these guys.
All those guys, yeah.
Yeah, I got opened up to exposed to all of those guys. I don't think I've been able to get on anybody else's channel. We all been busy, but I got opened up to a lot of the guys that I watch.
Right. And it all starts by just, coming into the network, even me. Shout out to my boy Wody Maya, because I was out in Africa dealing with him, and the person that's the things I'm doing now is because I got exposed how he does things, how how a YouTube channel, how he was working his channel. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have seen how he was doing things. So because of his way of doing things, I was able to adapt a little bit and improve my stuff. So it's all about, a lot of guys got to understand in the business about who what and establishing that network. But you're doing great, doctorate, lecturer. Tell everybody, man, what's this Calendly.com thing, man, Dr. D, man? Not only have you been providing great content on the Hall of Game, what's that about? Talk about what you're doing now, man, with the consults.
I do consults to help out people with technology, life, and education advice, because there are a lot of people. Some people have contacted me. I've done calendars with them to see how they want to get into the tech field. They've asked me about some life stuff too, but most of it is for technology and educational consultations. I've never realized it till I got onto the platform with O'Shea. There are a lot of people that just don't know, and they're eager to learn. They just need help. A lot of people, when they talk to you, they have the ambition. They just don't know what to do. And they'll contact me and I'll say, hey, well, book a 30 or 60-minute session and we could talk about how to get you into the STEM field. Because someone will say, well, how do you know about that much about STEM field? I've been messing with computers since 1996. I am 36. So you're talking about since I was about 20, not 20, since I was about 17. No, hold up. My math is off. Since I was about 12 years old, 11 or 12, we had a Tandy computer. So I've been around computers my whole life. And I actually have rewritten curriculums. One of the things that I can tell people about getting a STEM degree from being a professor, I have taught all these students. So I know what your core classes are. I know how the curriculum is written. I have taught people of all ages, people from all over the world. I've taught baby boomers. I've taught people my age. I've taught all types of people. So doing that has allowed me to communicate with people better. And I get to translate that to someone that needs help, saying, hey, go to this field. For instance, somebody said, well, should I do data analytics? I said, do you know how much data that we're going to have from the COVID and everything else? We're in gigabytes now, terabytes. So they're going to go to petabytes. I think that's next. And whatever's after that one, I'm not sure. But there's going to be so much data, they don't know what to do with it. People want people to tell them what to do. And if you can get into like data analytics or analyzing things or simulation software, you can make a lot of money, because companies want to say, hey, we have 3,000 people. We need to know how to contact them to advertise for them to make money. So doing the consultations, I'm able to help people with that. And there's so many other things I know how to do, from backgrounds, like with your credit, all kinds of stuff. I don't do credit repair, but I can tell folks from having a bad credit score about 11 years ago, how it's impacted my life, how I changed things. And I talk to people about my failures, getting fired from a job, failing relationships, just failing at stuff. I'm not perfect. I fail at stuff every day. And if you're not failing, you're not trying. And a lot of people are afraid to fail. So you have to learn to fail to learn how to succeed. And that's what the consultation is about, building your confidence and helping you see what you need to do to the next step and giving you the tools or pointing you in the right direction, because my main objective is to build your confidence so you can help somebody else out.
All right. And guys, it's your boy, man. We're here, and I really appreciate Dr. D coming through here, man. Check him out at the first comment pinned to the top. That's the link. You'll be very glad to do the consult with him. I'm actually going to start my calendar.com. So, instead of y'all emailing me, I'm going to make you, book a session with your boy. All right. And I do thank you so much. And any last words you want to say, Doc?
No, black men, just realize that there's nothing wrong with failing in life. Continue to push forward. We've came a long ways. Take care of your mental, your physical, and your spiritual health, and continue to strive forward, and do not let anyone make you feel bad for failing, and continue to put foot to pavement, move forward, and continue to not give up, and you will get where you need to get. You will fit at and get at where you need to be.
All right, guys, and thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much also again for your support. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. We out.